Okay, number one, I refuse to wear makeup when I don't want to wear makeup. And when you do physical therapy 2 times a day in a pool during the summer, there's just no point in putting on makeup. So you're going to get the raw Elizabeth during many of these videos. There's something I want to share with you all. As many of you know, I have reflex sympathetic dystrophy, or complex regional pain syndrome. Mine is more like MS, only angrier. I get flares, I get muscle freezing, and I get a lot of nerve and bone pain during the winter. I used to be a big Amazon. I grew up on a farm, working tobacco, chicken houses, cattle, shoeing horses with my dad, training horses on my own, showing cattle, showing sheep, showing horses, ginseng and hog hunting, deer hunting, all that. Until I worked as a wilderness camp counselor and had a young boy throw an axe at me. We were felling timber because we made cabins and stuff out of timber. And he was obviously having a bad day. He was there as a 17-year-old on assault charges, and he had been very lucky to not be charged as an adult. And he had only been there a couple of weeks, if that. And I got a radio call to go to the group. They were in duress, and so I went to the group. I got the other 13 children away from him safely and the female counselor away from him. And I engaged to de-escalate and try to bring him safely back into group and up to the offices to where we could talk about what was going on. And I think it was just a last-ditch effort on his part. He threw the axe at me. And I was lucky the way the axe had rotated, which was a busting maul. I was lucky the way that the axe had rotated. The backside and corner crushed and broke most of my left foot and the ankle area and the nerve bundle in my foot. And if anyone's ever had to deal with work comp, you know that work comp drags their feet. So it actually took me about 3 hours to get out of the woods and to a doctor just to get the first x-ray. And then it took another week to get a CT. All this time I'm wrapping my foot, and they put me on desk duty or driving duty because it was my left foot. And so I was doing airport shuttles and desk work, paperwork. In the process of them taking so long to figure out there was 18 things wrong with my left foot, the last MRI, there's still 11 things wrong with my foot that they just can't fix. It went too far by the time they figured out what was wrong to repair it. I ground out my knee by not swiveling off my ankle because I was getting no physical therapy. I was getting no help, but I was still trying to work and be mobile. And I had screwed up my left hip. That led to a lot of surgery. One main surgery, and then I transitioned jobs, and I went into corrections where I was a parole officer for a decade. And I'm a big burly girl, so I don't get scared too easy. Yeah, that was a great job for me. I loved it. I loved my caseload. It changed a lot of lives. A lot of lives changed me. And I felt like I'd found my home. I'd found my place where I was supposed to be. But I kept having these frozen muscle issues, and it was not normal for me because I'm such a Amazonian woman that I'd never had issues with my muscles before. And y'all, I was lifting weights in high school because I was showing cattle and I had to be strong. So I was bench pressing about 140, 150 when I was 14. I was leg pressing about 690. So I was the big old heifer. I was strong. I've never been a small framed girl, but I was impressive muscle mass. And with every surgery, and I've had, I think, 4 leg surgeries now, with every surgery and the steroids, it took them 6.5 years to diagnose me with reflex sympathetic dystrophy. So they kept trying to correct things via surgery, and the surgeries just kept making things worse. And they kept giving me steroids, which put weight on me, which just aggravated the RSD. If you have RSD, you know that. And I gained so much weight. Now, I have lost about 35, 40 pounds on my own. But it stopped. And I've been doing physical therapy for about 10 months now, and the scale has stopped. It is not my friend. And if I do any resistance training with my upper body, I can't do any with my legs. My legs are foobarred. they're done for. Some days they work really well. Some days I only have so many steps, and some days I'm lucky to get myself to the bathroom. It just is what it is. It's very much like MS. I don't know what body I'm going to wake up in. My upper body, however, I can do some resistance training with still, but I will build muscle like a man instead of leaning up. And that's just because my body is used to farm labor, farm work, and hard work, and it goes into muscle building mode. And while I've got loose fat on my arms from where I have gained and lost much weight, I still have muscle in there. So I still have muscle. I still have quite a bit of muscle in my traps, and I still have quite a bit of pectoral muscle and stuff, and lats. And those are the things that freeze and break down, and they just constrict. And then if they get my legs in on it, the rest of the muscles and the nerves and the legs go crazy, and then I'm down with a flare for 7 to 10 days normally, and I'm in a lot of pain. And I try to do this without the medications that most people with RSD take. So I try to use it mostly with the Salon Pause patches, the Lidoderm patches, and just a lot of prayer, a lot of homeopathic natural tinctures. I am half Irish, and like the other half a mixture of Cherokee and some other stuff. And so I try to kind of pay attention to nature and use nature as much as possible, but I'm not moving the scale, and I'm getting frustrated. And I know that to have longevity with this disorder, I've got to maintain my legs as long as possible. So my doctor made the decision to put me on Mounjaro. I'm going to take my first dose tonight, and I'm not afraid to tell you that I am scared to death. And I sit here, an educated woman with a master's in psychology. I immediately shied away from Ozempic in the generic form of Ozempic because they're having a lot of mental health issues with the Ozempic, and there's not that issue with the Mounjaro. And so also the Ozempic and the generic Ozempic, my doctor feels will be too strong for my gut because the RSD has spread to my gut, and he feels it will be too dangerous for my gut. So he's like, we need to start with the smallest dose of Mounjaro and probably just keep me on the smallest dose and keep me doing my physical therapy and keep me mobile and see if that helps my body learn to push the fat off a little bit. Because in essence, my body is in the wasting phase where it's trying to waste muscle, but the more PT I do, it will try to build it back, but I can't, the fat will not move. And if you have a body with RSD, they don't work normally. And we're just trying to get some weight off of me so that I can function longer and walk longer and have more mobility and just a better life longer. I already had to give up my career. I'm stuck at home. I'm bored to death. I try to still help people in my community and do volunteer work when I'm able, but this is not the life I envisioned for myself when I spent 6 years of college and had a passion and a drive to help those that society likes to cast out. So I want to do all I can to keep myself functioning as long as possible. Because I'm still one of the bigger aides in this area of Appalachia to help get people into drug rehab and to help the drug court ladies find the grants and the scholarship beds and stuff like that. I still like to help do that. And I would still like to maintain my health to be able to do that for a long period of time. And if my health keeps going south, I'm not going to be able to. This is kind of a have-to situation for me. I'm not diabetic, but because the weight is not moving, I will be in a few years if we don't make huge changes. So that is why we're doing this. So those are the reasons. My insurance is behind me. They're requesting a prior authorization to bypass the generic Ozempic and go to this because of my specific issues. And they are trying to be positive about, yes, we're going to go ahead and cover this for you because of this issue. My doctor seems positive that they will, but I do have the first month's dose at 2.5, and I will stay at 2.5 and probably stay there on this dose or go to 5. But I'm hoping I can stay on 2.5 and just work my butt off and make it work for me. This is not for everyone. This is going to be difficult. I know that for the next few days I'm going to not feel well. I know that this is going to take me continuing my lifestyle changes and pushing my body. And I know it's going to put me into flare many times, and it's going to probably cause some issues as well. But for the longevity of me and the life that I want to have, I have to take this chance because I don't have an option otherwise. So I'm going to start the Ozempic, or not the Ozempic, the Mounjaro, because the Ozempic will not, it's too much for my gut. I've watched countless other vlogs of ladies with this. I have consulted with all of my specialists and physicians, and I recommend that anyone that is wanting to take the step do the same. Research the medications, the side effects, research any issues that your body may have to see how it may react to the medication, and understand that this is not a quick fix. This is a tool to help you shed some weight so that you can, for me, get mobility so that I can shed more weight on my own. For me, it's a tool to get more mobility so I can shed weight easier on my own without it. I don't want to be on this long term. That's why we want to stay at this a smaller dose and let me lose the weight slower, so that it's more natural weight loss. And I've already made a lot of changes in my life that has dropped to 35, 40 pounds. But I know I need to make more. And this is going to help me. And I'm excited and terrified. So I'm going to do a full body camera shot of me tonight. And then if I'm very, very brave, I will video myself doing the injection. And we'll just go through this together, as we seem to do many things these days together. I don't ever want to be skinny. I've never been skinny. I've never been a small girl. My shoulders have always been just as broad as my husband's. And the Amish boys in the hayfield could not outwork me. So I have no desire to be skinny. I have no desire to be a Barbie. I have no desire to be a Paris Hilton. I want my legs to be functional. I want my body to be functional. And this will also help shave off some of the bulk muscle that I put on as a teenager that is now, in essence, helping to rip my body apart when I go in flare. So I'll lose some fat. I'll lose some of the muscle that's also pulling. But I'll be able to still put on a little muscle if I want to later. But I have no desire to be small. I just want to be healthy. And I want to be mobile for as long as I can be mobile with this disorder. I refuse to get in a wheelchair. I am belligerent. And I really want this to work. So I am committed to this 110%, although I know the next few days are not going to be pleasant. My husband of almost 21 years is behind me 110%. He's ready to cook his own meals, do his own laundry if I'm having a bad day, leave me alone, and just let me ease into this. And he's basically willing to, he's like, I'll be single and take care of myself for a while. So I have a wonderful, wonderful husband that's like, listen, you just do you, boo. I'll take care of me. But, you know, it's very important to me as a wife now that I've become a little bit more able to cook his meals, to pack his lunches for work, and to spend time with him. And I don't want that taken away from me, but we have both decided that the sick times for the first few days of adjusting after each shot will be worth it in the long run when I'm able to do more with him and go more places and have more steps each day and have better control of my legs and my mobility. So I'm lucky I have a lot of really great friends that babysit me when I'm scared to death of new medications as well. So let's start this journey. Now, am I doing this for beauty reasons? Heck no, tech no. I may be a heifer, but I'm a prize heifer, y'all. I think I'm just plumb cute, and I don't care what you think, because my husband thinks I rock it all day long. So, you know, I don't need affirmation from anyone else. I'm comfortable with the way I look and the way I carry myself and my personality and my heart. I just need to change the size of my behind. And I'm okay with a little remodeling. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm not doing this to be seen in a different light. If you see me, see my heart. Don't see my butt. So let's start this journey together, bravely. I'm terrified. But I'm going to put on a brave John Wayne face. And let's see what happens. Just an open, honest journal from someone who has a very, very rare disorder, trying to do something to hedge off the climb, of this disorder into my other organs, taking over my body. I'm fighting. Let's see how the fight goes. Maybe it'll help some people out there. And as always, if you want to do this, seek your doctor's consultation, seek professional medical care, do all your research. Don't listen to me. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a bumpkin that needs to lose weight. Y'all cross your fingers, pray for me, send me good energy. I appreciate every one of you. Okay, so I'm not going to hide anything. So this is me. Of course, the camera's kind of at an angle, so it makes my head look smaller. Big burly shoulders. My grandma gave me her boobs. But this is all the weight I gained during and after all the leg surgeries. So as you can see, while my legs are not super big, right here is where I hold all my weight, which is not a good place to hold it. And I have a saddle butt, which means my butt sits high, where I rode horses my whole life until I got my legs injured in this neuromuscular disorder. So this is my shape. That's kind of sad. This is my shape. See, I got my britches pulled up here. This is my shape. That's right. I carry all my weight right here. So, hoping that shrinks, and so that when I have abdominal swelling with my RSD, we can tell more what's going on, and so that mobility comes off my knees, my mobility gets better, and so that in a few years, I'm not pre-diabetic going into diabetes, because I've been working so hard with the physical therapy and stuff for the last 10 months. And I'm just, the scale stopped several months ago. And I'm toning up and I'm doing better. But this has got to go because of my reflex sympathetic dystrophy. This has got to go so that I can have a better life. Now, I pulled my britches way up. But this is normally how I look. I pulled it way up. This is normally how I look. I pulled it way up to accentuate my belly button. So that is where I carry all my weight. So we will see what happens. My legs are, let me see if I can lift them in. My legs are not ginormous. They're actually smaller for my body. That hurt my left leg, my hip. Oh, but that's where all the damage is. So I need this off of those. So, I hope I don't end up looking like a golf tee because I do have such broad shoulders where I lifted weights and did so much as a child, as a farm girl. But if I do, I just need this off so that my legs can function and I can walk as long as possible and be around for as long as possible. So let's see where it goes, people. Let's just hope I'm not green for 3 days. I really don't want to be nauseous for 3 days. I don't want to be constipated and I don't want to barf. That's all I'm hoping for. I don't want to be pretty. My husband thinks I'm pretty. That's all I need. So it goes around the belly button. I've got stretch marks right there, but I've got a really good chunk of fat right here. So I'm going to alcohol prep right here. I'm going to hold it tight when I give myself the shot too, because I give horses and animals enough shots to know that you don't want to let skin be flabby. You take off the cap to expose the needle. There's the needle. They want you to place it the first time. There's the alcohol. They want you to place it the first time and just kind of prep yourself. And then twist it to unlock. And when you inject, you hold for 10 seconds. I know, I'm trying to let my thumb goes in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go a few more because I counted really fast there for just a moment.
15 seconds now.
Okay. Pull it out. It's injected. The medicine is gone. That didn't hurt a bit. I actually felt nothing. Got a little blood drop, so I know we got her in there. And then you replace the cap and dispose appropriately of your Mounjaro shot. Okay, so it's been a few hours. I was able to eat oatmeal and just a little bit of oatmeal this morning. I've been pacing down my food for the last few days so that I wouldn't have a huge gut reaction. So I ate a little bit of oatmeal this morning and had a few sips out of a protein shake. I'm doing fine. I've not had any problems at all. I feel normal. Other than I have a little bit of dry mouth, but I can handle the dry mouth. So it's been about 3-4 hours now, and that's all I'm experiencing is a little bit of dry mouth as the medicine gets into my system. But that's about it. I love this shirt. This is such a pretty shirt. And I don't anticipate stomach issues happening until about 18 to 24 hours in. So day 2, I'll update you on what I'm experiencing if it changes from this. Right now, I'm good. Look at them traps. I'm good. I wish the rest of me looked really as nice as my traps and shoulders. Maybe someday it will. But right now, I'm feeling good. And I got a call from my insurance company. And due to my specific medical issues, they've already approved for like over a year of this if I need it at this lower dose, so that I lose slowly and keep it off. And they're like, you're doing the right thing. This is great. And we support you. And they've already approved it. So I will have a very low copay for my Mounjaro. Things seem to be looking up. Let's just cross our fingers. The one that I almost cut off the other day too. Cross our fingers and hope that this medicine will work well with me and my system. I just need a little bit of help to get over the hill that me and physical therapy have not been able to get over because the scale stopped, and that it stopped long enough. I need the help.